Okay, we're back. Let's see if that works now. I think being, does this work now? How is it showing up now? Ahimong is like 90% of the chat. Let's see what else other people are saying. Welcome back. Yes. Using today's topic, it seems like the stream is dead. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't change anything. The only thing that changed was I think the streaming program I used had an update. But besides that, nothing changed. So I'm not sure. But anyway, I lowered the quality and restarted it. All right. Yeah. And YouTube now is showing there's no issue. So I don't know. Maybe it was something wrong with my internet or my computer. I can't tell you, but or it could be because we're on top of this mountain area overlooking the city. There could be some interruptions in our data. So it could be just, this is not a very good place for cell signal. It could be one of many things. But anyway, we're back. So fortunately, since I start early every time, we didn't really lose any time. So that's good. That's why I start early. So the prerequisites, I'm just going to write on the board for today. You want to be able to conjugate verbs. And by that, I mean both action and descriptive verbs. So if you don't know what action and descriptive verbs are, skip today's lesson. You might want to skip today's lesson because you'll need to know how to conjugate verbs already in order to use this topic well. And we're not going to be talking about conjugation today. The other thing is you want to make sure you're at least, I'd say a mid-beginner or higher. Now, what is a mid-beginner? Well, you know the alphabet, you know a lot of basic grammar, you can put together sentences, you can have basic conversations, and you could kind of understand basic conversation. You want to at least be at that range. So you already know how to say things like because, you know how to connect verbs with and, all the basic grammar, because this is more of a high beginning concept or even a low intermediate concept. It's like a transitionary concept where you start learning more things that you can do besides just attaching verb endings. You start learning about how to do more complicated grammar. And this is like one of the first steps of that. So you want to make sure you're pretty confident with this in order to get something out of today's lesson. Hopefully I didn't lose too many of you in that blackout we had. Let's see here. I have notes on the Talk to Me in Korean lessons on it right here. Yeah, Talk to Me in Korean probably has lessons on pieces of this. I think they have separate lessons, one on na and ka 보다 and a separate one on 려나 보다. Yeah, so today's will be a combination and kind of talk about all of that together. So yeah, make sure you know these, as well as I have one more announcement to make also today. If you are a Patreon supporter, then you already know that every outline of every lesson is available on Patreon. And this one I'll post right after the lesson. Also, starting from today, I've got a big announcement. We are also going to be having worksheets. Yay! So these aren't like, it's not a workbook. They're not like workbooks for every lesson. But for each lesson that I do, starting from today, there's going to be a simple worksheet of about, somewhere between 10 and 20 problems of additional practice examples for whatever topic that we're covering that day. And these will also be available the same as to every Patreon who has access to the outlines. You can now also access the worksheets. And the worksheets are already up there. So if you're a Patreon, you don't have to wait till the end of today's lesson to practice. You can get it right now, print it out, and do it while we're doing the lesson or right after the lesson finishes. So yeah, that's just an extra thing. I want to say they're free worksheets, but they're not free because you have to be a Patreon. But even the $1 Patreons get them. So I'll say they're cheap. They're affordable. Yeah. So anyway, get this if you're a Patreon. If you're not, then it's fine. Okay, and today we're going to be, of course, talking about what's in the title of the video. I'm just going to write them on the board. But we're not going to start the lesson for another couple minutes. Just make sure everyone comes in. These are not that different. These aren't that different. Let me just check the chat for a minute before we start. Yes. Yeah, I had a bunch of people ask me over the past few months, like, hey, what if there were worksheets? And then someone asked me again last month or a couple weeks ago, I think. And I'm just like, you know what? There should be some worksheets so that they can kind of follow along. So yeah. Someone asked, are the frames per second set to 12? No, it should be fine now. Someone asked, how do I become a Patreon? I have multiple dollar. It's just patreon.com and you'll find my page, Go Billy Korean. And you can do the $1 tier if you want. There's more levels. Like if you have more money, then you can give me more money. But the $1 tier will get access to all of the outlines for the lessons and all of the worksheets that I'm going to put up. And I'll do one for every lesson starting from today. If I got like a lot of Patreons, I'll go back and do the previous lessons. But for the time being, I'll just do it for each lesson as we go. Ocean Discovery. Where did you hear that from? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. I think maybe it's a YouTube problem because like I just went in and lowered the settings extremely. So the video settings are actually what they were at season 2 again. I'm not sure why the frame rate would be really bad now because, like I said, now I've lowered the frame rate really low. So if we have lots of issues today, then maybe I'll postpone or cancel today's lesson if it's not going to work. That would be kind of sad though. So like I said, I'm not sure what else I can do. I already lowered it as much as possible. But in the past, YouTube has had a lot of issues trying to stream on their platform. And I would move to Twitch, but the issue is Twitch does not allow language teaching in their categories, so I can't do it over there. Let me just check here again. Let's see if there's anything going on. Go to your network. Does it show me? Let's see. Poor network connection. Okay, let's just check here. It says it's due to the network connection, but I don't have anything connected to my network besides this right now. Let me just check. Hold on one second. Let me put on some music for just a second and let me just check here. See if there's anything else I can do. I guess is it still not working right? Yeah, I apologize. Fortunately, it's only 2:02, but I don't know if it's gonna work. What do you guys think since coming back? I know there's like a 30-second delay or something. How is it? Should we go with the stream, or should I try it, or is it just not going to work today? For good luck and connection for the live stream. Sarah, look. Sarah, all right, Sarah, thank you. Let's see if your donation pays off. $5 toward better connection to appease the better connection gods. All right, let me give you a dab. Okay. Yeah, I apologize. I try to start a bit early just in case these types of problems happen. But as you know from season 1, when I used to stream from my phone, it didn't work most of the time. So we had issues most days with quality or just the stream getting cut out or anything like that. Okay, maybe let's do a vote. Would you like me to continue with today's stream, or would you like me to delay it? Because I want to make sure you guys get a good lesson. As long as you can understand me, and if it looks clear enough that you can read the board, like if you can read the board clearly, then we're okay. Can work with this? All right, I'll keep going. Maybe it'll get better. Let me do one more thing. I have a I know this isn't going to make much of a difference, but I have a small server that holds my data on it. I'm just going to shut it off. It's not even connected to the internet very much, but just in case, let's shut it down. Okay, so that's down. All right, I can say now I've done everything within my power to improve this. I have my computer always set to be my priority device on my network, so I'm supposed to be getting all of the bandwidth from my internet. My internet also is typically quite good. It doesn't have many issues. And there's nothing else running, nothing else that's grabbing data or downloading anything. I don't have like other programs open, or there's no other laptops on or computers. So it's the best possible condition. And I even lowered the video quality back to what it was in season 2, which never had any problems. So I'm going to wager that it's a YouTube issue right now, that there's something wrong with the server that I'm streaming to, not working very well. So yeah, there's nothing else I could do about it. I wish I could. Let's see. Yeah, I can see it on my end too. It looks quite bad. So yeah, all right. Well, let's just hope that it'll be bearable. Okay. What camera? Oh, it doesn't have to do with the camera. It's not a bitrate issue. Like I said, the bitrate is quite low right now. I lowered it even further. Actually, I have one more thing I'm going to try. One more thing I'm going to try. Stick with Okay. Let's try this one more time. This is the last time. We're gonna go with it. Hopefully, what I did is I just lowered the bitrate even further than I would normally do for season 2, just in case if YouTube is going crazy, and or my network is going crazy and I don't know about it. So that's like the last ditch effort. Okay, we're gonna work with this. All right, so let's get started before I waste any more time. Apologies. Thank you for sticking with me. So the first thing you need to know about kaboda and naboda, The first thing that you need to know about these two forms is that they are the exact same. There is zero difference between these forms in meaning. The only difference comes in how they are used. And 90% of the time, you're going to just be using this one. So if that, here, this is like your quick pro tip. Most of the time, you're going to be using 나보다. If you ever see 가보다, like as part of a verb ending, these are both verb endings, I should say. They have the exact same meaning. So you don't have to learn these as two separate forms. The form is just changing depending on what type of verb it goes after. So what these mean, I'll tell you that first. These mean either, I guess that, as in like, oh, I guess that he can teach Korean, or I guess that today is going to be cold, or I guess that the weather's kind of hot. You're right. Yeah, I guess that I guess that we're going to be busy today. I see lots of people. Oh, I guess that I'll pass the test. You know, oh, I guess that he passed the test. Anything like that. Or it seems like. Now, these both have the same meaning pretty much in English. Oh, it seems like it'll be hot today. You know, it seems like he passed the test. He looks really happy. It seems like he's busy right now. It seems like today's weather is hot. You know, anything like that. This is how you can translate it, I guess, or it seems like, or actually you can translate it any other way if you can think of one. It's just to convey something appears to be a certain way. Something appears or seems like a certain way. So however you want to translate that is totally fine and up to you. These are two common ways to translate it. But other times in sentences, you might not translate it at all, or you might translate it as something completely different. Maybe you'll translate it as, I think, or, you know, perhaps. However you want to translate it, just know that its literal meaning is really close to saying something seems like something. So, how do you use it? That's very easy. In order to use it, you'll use a different one, whether the verb that it comes after is an action verb or a description verb. So let's first take a look at 나보다. If you have an action verb, you attach 나보다 to the action verb's stem. Let me check the chat just for a second to make sure we're still doing good. Someone said, it seems like the bit rate is very low today. Yes, it shouldn't be very low though. It should be okay. I didn't lower it to crazy levels. As long as you can read this clearly, if you can read this clearly, we're good. Because I don't want to have a repeat of the, I think it was the sound change rules lesson where everything was like pixelated and you can barely read it because the bit rate was so low. Okay. So anytime you have an action verb, you attach 나보다 by attaching it directly to the verb stem. So let's take the action verb 좋아하다, just a simple one. 좋아하다, meaning to like. So like I like that or I don't like that. And you take the verb stem of that and you attach 나보다, and then you conjugate however you'd like. Or maybe this will be different verb. You want to conjugate this different way, anything you like. But this is the base that we start with. So you would go from 좋아하다 to become 좋아하나 보다. And then you could conjugate this. So we'll say 보다 conjugates into the 요 form as 봐, 보아, 봐, 요, if you want to be polite. So 봐요. So 좋아하나 봐요. 좋아하나 봐요. I guess that, or it seems like he or she or someone likes something. So we don't have any other context in this sentence. So maybe let's add 김치, 김치를. I know it's kind of small. 김치를 좋아하다, to like kimchi. Well, now we've got 김치를 좋아하나 봐요. I guess that he or she likes kimchi. It seems that he or she likes kimchi. So notice that 나보다 only is used because it's an action verb stem. If, however, we are working with a descriptive verb stem, then we use 가보다. But the way we use it is slightly different. So you first take a descriptive verb stem and you attach 은 or 니은 first. And then you would attach 나보다 or 가보다 like that. Sorry. Then you would attach 가보다. So if you had a descriptive verb stem that ends in a consonant, you'll attach 은 가보다. And if it ends in a vowel, you will attach just 니은, this 은, this letter, 가보다. So let's see what that looks like. And for some space, I'm going to erase this up here. We'll go back to it, don't worry. I just want to get some space. So we're going to have a simple verb like 좋다, okay, to be good. 좋다, to be good. So we take the verb stem, which is just this. It ends in a consonant, so we attach 은. So now we have 좋은 가 보다. And we can conjugate that just like before to say 좋은가 봐, 좋은가 봐요. I guess that it's good, or it seems like it's good. Maybe you can say idea가 the idea가 좋은가 봐. 그 아이디어가 좋은가 봐. I guess that idea is good, or it seems like that idea is good. So it seems like a good idea, or I guess that's a good idea. One of those ways. So that's all you have to do to it. But there are some exceptions for different types of verb stems when you're working with this ending with descriptive verbs, and I'll show you what that would be. So we've got 좋다, to be good, but let's do another example. Let's do 멀다, to be far. Let's do a couple of these. Yeah, let's do those three. Okay, 멀다, to be far. Well, we get the verb stem. It ends with this letter, a 릴. Let's check the chat for a second. Okay, yeah, 멀다. So now we have this letter at the bottom. Well, it would normally, you think, because it ends in a consonant, you would think to attach 은, but that would be wrong. When you have descriptive verb stems that end with the letter, these, and sometimes others as well, these will have their own different ways of working with things. So a really common one is this one. Most of the time, whenever you're working with any sort of grammar form that involves this letter and at the end, most of the time, or I should say a lot of the time, it just goes away. So all you do is you get rid of it. And this isn't a rule specific to this grammar form. This is one that pops up over and over again in many grammar forms. So for this one, you simply remove it. So you have 뭐. Now it ends in a vowel, so we attach 니은, 가, and then 보다, just like before. So if you wanted to say, I guess that it is 멀다, 멀다 meaning to be far, like to be far away in the distance, 멀다. If you were to say, 먼가 봐, I guess it's really far. So maybe you're driving and your friend's like, are you there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And you're like, no, we're not there yet. And your friend's like, 너무 먼가 봐, 너무 멀어, 먼가 봐, 먼가 봐요. I guess it's far. It seems like it's far. 멀다 to become 먼가. The same goes for every descriptive verb that ends with this letter. You remove it. Oh, I got a donation. Yay. Let's see who it's from. Shells. That name totally reminds me of, isn't that the character from Portal? Isn't that character named Shell? $2 donation. Thank you. You're the best. 화이팅. No, you're the best. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's give you a dab for that. Sweet. Okay, so another one is when you have verb stems that end with this letter, 비읍. Now, 비읍 ones, you have to do the same thing that you do with most other grammar forms, in that if there's a verb stem that ends in this letter, you remove it and then you add 우. And this applies for a lot of grammar forms. You saw it when we used the 으니까 ending. You saw it for the na ending. It's for a lot of different endings. They will use, they will remove this and then attach 우. So what you're left with is 더우. 더우. 덥다, to be hot, like weather is hot, becomes 더우. So then it ends in a vowel. So we have 더우, 가, 더운가, 봐요. 더운가 봐요. I guess it's hot. It seems like it's really hot. So you hear about your friend says that he's always sweating during the summer. 아, 거기 더운가 봐. I guess there, 거기 over there, is hot. It seems like it's hot. So that's how it's used. And then finally we'll do one more with this letter, and it's not always, not every example, but most of the time if it ends in this letter also, you simply remove it. So if you have 그렇다, to be so, like that is so, it is that way. Like this is the verb they used to say 그래요, or like 그렇게, like that way, or so much, 그렇다. Well, it would just become 그런가 봐요. 그런가 봐요. To be so, like it is so. 그래요. Yeah, that's right. 그래요. 맞아요. 그래요. It is so. Well, 그런가 봐요. I guess it is so, or it seems like it is so. So someone says, "Oh, is that really true?" You're like, 그런가 봐요. I guess it is. 그런가 봐요. Yeah, I guess it is. It seems like it is. Like that. So that's all you have to know. And I'll give you some more examples that have this type of thing in it. Oh yeah, one more. It's the same. It doesn't just happen with this 가 보다. It also happens the same thing with 나 보다. So you're not going to be just doing this with only 가 보다. I'll show you it also works with 나 보다 as well. 살다 is the verb that means to live. Like he lives in Korea. So you can say, oh, I guess he lives in Korea, or I guess he lives in America. Well, you would get 살 for the stem. It ends in this letter, so you remove it, and then you attach 나 보다 and conjugate it. So you say 한국에서, in Korea, 한국에서 사나 봐요. I guess he lives in Korea. And I'll give you another example of something like this too. I just wanted to show you that it's not just 가 보다, but it's in general a lot of verb stems will have this same sort of rule for those characters no matter what the grammar form is. So yeah, 사나 보다, not 살나 보다. Okay, so let's go on to some actual examples. And I want to have you guys do these. So I think you guys can do them. I think once you know like how to conjugate something, it makes coming up with examples a lot easier. Instead of if you just first learn examples and then you try to later learn to conjugate them, I think it's best you just know the conjugation and then you can like put it together in sentences like Legos. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to say. One more thing. If you're going to add any sort of like tense or honorifics, I can't spell honorifics. So like that would include like the she ending or like past tense. Just past tense. We're not talking about future tense yet. So if you wanted to add past tense or honorifics, you do that before the 보다. So you're not going to add those onto 보다. You're going to add them onto the verb that goes before 나 or 가 보다. You got it? So, for example, if you were to try to say, I guess he did it. I guess that he did it. To do is just 하다. Normally, if you're doing, I guess he does it, you would say 하나 보다, 하나 봐요. I guess that he does it. It seems like he does it. But if you want to say, I guess he did, he had done it, he did it, or I guess that some honorific person does that thing, Normal 하세요 or 하시다. I guess the honorific person that I'm being honorific to did that thing. Well, then you put all of that before here. So before you get to the 보다 part, you already have all of your tense or your honorifics taken care of. So if you want to make an honorific, you would change 하다 to 하시다, which you can get then conjugate. So you would say 하시나 보다. Or if it was past tense, normally, you'd say 했어요, so you'd be 했다, and then that would go into 했나 보다. So notice that only the part before 보다 is changing into the tense or getting honorifics onto it. You wouldn't put 하나 봤어요 or 하나 보세요, like for honorific. You wouldn't make the 보다 honorific. The honorific would only be on the verb before. 보다 would stay exactly as it is. You can conjugate it any way you want, but not by adding honorifics to it and not by adding tense to it. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Leave the 보다 alone. Just leave it alone. It wants to be left alone. if you want to do any tenses or past tense or honorifics, 보다 will not judge you, but leave it alone. It should stay as it is. You can, of course, you'll conjugate this, but you're not going to conjugate it toward the different tenses or with honorifics. You could conjugate it, to like 보조, any of those verb endings, 보내, 보내요, or anything like that. But you're not going to put the tense. You're not going to put honorifics into it. So now let's get on to some examples. That's everything about how to use the form. Mostly. Not really. No, we'll do more in a bit. But I just want to get going. I want to go into some example sentences. This one is the very first example sentence, but I'm not going to give it to you. I want you guys to write it. So how would we say, I guess he or she didn't come. So I'm just jumping right in. We're going to do a full example sentence. I guess that he didn't come. He, or it could be she, because we don't know until we have a subject. I guess he or she didn't come. I guess he didn't come. So maybe you're asking like, oh, did you see Bobby yesterday at the party? You're like, no, I didn't. I didn't see him. I guess he didn't come. So how would we say that? Emeril is already practicing with other sentences. 한국 사람인가 봐요. Nice, perfect. That's perfect sense. I guess he's Korean. 철수 씨는 한국말 잘하네요. 한국인 사람. Fluffy Sugar. No, we haven't gone on to there yet. We're just going into this. We just have this sentence first. And of course, Emeril is first. 안 왔나 봐요. I guess he didn't come. Oh, Liu, you got it. You just have a typo with 봐요. But I think you got it. Tiffany, you have to do regular past tense conjugation. It's not 온. It would be 왔, like 왔어요. 안 왔나 봐요. 안 왔나 봐. Augustus, nice. 그 사람은 안 왔나 봐요. Nice, Noah. 안 왔나 봐요. Okay, Mel K, nice. 사실은 내가 그게 아닌가 봐. Okay, well, we're not doing that sentence. I'm not going to go over other sentences yet. 그 사람은 안 오나 봐요. Yeah, I guess he's not. Well, that would be, I guess he is not coming. So your sentence is correct, Sarah. It's not this tense, but it's a perfectly grammatically correct sentence. I guess he is not coming. So you're waiting for him at the party and he's already, he's 50 minutes late and it's going to end in 10 minutes. You say, 안 오나 봐. I guess he's not coming. Nice. Fluffy, you wrote 안 왔으나. It's just 왔나. The and nian, that only happens with 가 보다 for descriptive verbs. Stitch는 오늘도 안 자나 봐요. Stitch, yes, Stitch is a native Korean, and I guess that Stitch is not sleeping today either. Stitch는 매일 그냥 안 자는 사람인가 봐. 안 자도 되는 사람인가 봐. I guess she is just a person who doesn't need to sleep, who doesn't have to sleep. Sarah Lecrinier asked, is it pone or pone? It's pone. I have a live stream about verb endings also that you can check out, but yeah, it would be pone. 오지 않았나 봐요. I guess that he didn't come. Yeah, 오지 않았나 봐요. You can say that too. 동생이 안 왔나 봐요. 그 사람이 안 왔나 봐요. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. So, as far as time, we're actually doing okay. I'm a little bit late on time because, I had the 5-minute mess up with the stream not working, but hopefully it should be okay now. Okay, yeah, so let me write down an answer. Just something simple. 안. Oops, I wrote that really weird. 안. So past tense of 오다 is 왔어요, or the past tense stem would be 왔다. So we take the stem, 나, 보다. So we're going to conjugate this just to 봐요. 안 왔나 봐요. 안 왔나 봐요. I guess that it seems like he or she, someone, 그 사람이, 철수가, probably 철수. Little 철수. Didn't come. Never comes. Okay, next sentence. I guess he doesn't know that person. Or I guess you don't know that person. Or I guess she doesn't know that person. Or it seems like he, she, you, whatever, doesn't. Remember, it could be you as well. Person. And you can replace that person with someone else if you want to get creative in your sentence. So feel free to do that. But I guess he or she doesn't know that person. How would you say this? How would I make this sentence? Tiffany, it's not an alda. Although you did do right to remove the lir at the bottom of al. So you remembered that. But you don't say an alda. They use moruda to not know. Oh, Amariliz also wrote the same thing. Yeah, that's right. I did a live stream about negative verbs where I talk about that. Which verbs you can and can't use an with. You can't just use an with every verb. Mel K, you might have missed what I described about 15 minutes ago where I talked about how to conjugate this with na and ka because you used the wrong ending. It would be na 보다 since it's an action verb. It's not a descriptive verb. Okay, this one's not going as well as the other one. I think because some people have been writing on for the last one, so they're reusing on again for this one. I don't have time to cover on for today's lesson, but please watch my negative verbs live stream. There's also a abridged form of it as well, and an outline if you're a Patreon. Check out that because a lot of verbs cannot use an to become negative. So in this case, you cannot use an alda to say do not know or anything like that. You have to use 모르다, which means to not know. And 모르다 is also, of course, an action verb. It's not describing something, it's something you're doing. So you are knowing or you are not knowing. It's an action, so it uses 나 보다. So this one, I'll just write it for you. Some people got the right answer, but I'll just write down the answer for you. So for that person, I'm just going to say 그 사람을 모르다, so 모르나 봐요. 그 사람을 모르나 봐요. I guess you, he, or she doesn't know, or it seems like doesn't know that person. 그 사람. 그 사람을 모르다, literally to not know that person. So I guess you do not know that person. Okay, 그 사람을 모르나 봐요. I guess he or she doesn't know that person. Okay, let's see if I should give you the next one or if I should just write this one on the board. Oh, okay, let's do this one. I'm gonna give you this one because this is something I want to teach also. So, 그 영화, that movie가 재미있나 봐요. 그 영화가, that movie, 재밌다 means to be entertaining or to be fun. So like the movie was fun. Or in English, we might just say, the movie was good. The movie was really fun or, good. But yeah, 재밌나 봐요. I guess it is fun. Notice that 있다, 재미있다, to be fun, to be entertaining. You would think that it's a descriptive verb because to be entertaining, you're not to be entertaining anything. You're not to be fun something. And you'd be right. It is a descriptive verb. However, there's a problem here, and that is 있다. Without getting too technical, 있다 conjugates as an action verb. So if you were to have anything conjugating that requires different rules for action and descriptive verbs, 있다 will always conjugate as an action verb, almost always. So if you were to have, like for, if you're changing 있다 into a nominalization form, 있는 것, 있는. So it conjugates like an action verb. And here as well, 나, 있나 보다. Instead of, and not 있은가, even though it's a descriptive verb. The reason is just 있다 because it conjugates as an action verb. So I won't go into technical detail about that. There's actually two 있다s, which is why that happens. But yeah, so that movie, 그 영화가 재밌나 봐요. So I guess that movie is fun. I guess that's a good movie. Yeah, it seems like it's a good movie. You know, people are giving it lots of good reviews. I read the reviews. It seems great. 그 영화가 재밌나 봐요. I guess that movie is entertaining. I guess that movie's fun. Maybe I should go see it. 나도 보러 가야 되나? 나도 보러 갈까? 나도 보러 가야지. You know, anything you want to say like that. I guess it's fun. You know, it sounds fun. Oh, it sounds. You could even say it sounds if you want to translate it that way, although it doesn't really literally mean that. So yeah, it seems like it's a fun movie. I'm going to give you guys the next one. Yes, okay, I can give you the next one. You seem tired. So, although we've only been learning that this form means I guess that or it seems like, notice here, it's not, I didn't say it seems like you're tired. I just wrote you seem tired. And in Korean, it's the same thing. So you can say that seems cool. That movie seems entertaining. That movie seems fun. In the exact same way as you would write, it seems like that movie's entertaining, or I guess that movie's fun. Seems. This form is really useful. You can say you seem tired, or oh yeah, that movie seems fun, or like the sentences we did before. You seem to not know that person, or he seems like he's not coming. You know, it depends on the sentence. Some sentences it'll sound more natural to say seem like this, and other sentences it'll sound more natural to just say it seems like, or I guess at the beginning of the sentence, and that's up to you. But I wanted to present it this way so you can see that this translation of seems is sometimes very natural in English too. You seem tired. Sounds much more natural than saying it seems like you're tired, right? But it's the same conjugation. You'll use the same form we've just been learning. So go ahead and give this a try. Let's see how many of you can get it right. 피곤한가 봐. 피곤한가 봐. Fluffy, nope. Remember, 피곤하다 is a descriptive verb. 피곤한, as well as Vanessa, it's a descriptive verb. 피곤한가 봐요. Nice, Sarah. 피곤한가 봐요. 피곤한가 봐요. 피곤한가 봐요. 피곤한가 봐요. Some people wrote 피곤하나. However, it's not na because it's not an action verb. To be tired is a descriptive verb. You're describing something. Well, someone. You're describing that they're tired. They're not tiring something. They're not tire something. They're not it's not an action. Amaryllis asked, kind of like 피곤해 보여요. 피곤해 보여요 is actually is different. That is a literal meaning. That means literally that you appear tired. So you can see, wrinkles on their face. What do you call that? Bags under their eyes, and you can say, "Oh, you really look tired. 정말 피곤해 보여요. You look so tired. You're yawning." This one is just seems. It doesn't have to show a literal, like a physical appearance of something. Like you can say, something seems far away. Yeah, that building seems really far away. Even though you can't see it. It might be out of your view. It might be way off and you can't see it. But you could say, oh, it seems like the place is really far away without even being able to see it. So this one's a little bit more broad and I think has more uses to it because it doesn't have to be something you're physically viewing. So that's the difference between 피곤해 보여요 and 피곤한가 봐요. I almost got messed up because I saw several of the hana. I'm like, wait, no, that sounds so weird to say hana. Okay. 피곤한가 봐요. Yes. Is there a way to combine 보다 in the same sentence? Not commonly, no. Typically, you'll use one or the other. If you just want to say something, I think something is something, like I think you are tired. 피곤한 거 같아요. You would just say it directly. You wouldn't say 피곤한 거 같나 봐요. Like that doesn't make any sense. It seems like I think that you are tired. Or even the other way. 피곤하나 본 거 같아요. I think that it seems like you are tired. It doesn't make any sense. It sounds really awkward in Korean. So you cannot combine them like that. You could have them appear in the same sentence if it's two sentences connected together, like 정말 피곤할 것 같고 안 갈 건가 봐요. Or, like if you but then it's not one sentence. It's actually like two sentences together. So no, you wouldn't combine them. 많이 피곤한가? 수나, 보내. Yeah, that's right. I see you corrected it. Okay. Let's move on. All right, so we got this one. I'll just write 보내요, but it could be just 봐요. Let's show a little bit of surprise. 와, 피곤한가 보네요. You seem really tired. It seems like you're really tired. I guess you're tired. Or he or she, it could be, whoever. Okay. Let's say it seems Charsu is, actually, let's not do Charsu. Let's give Charsu a break. It seems Jungkook is Korean. Okay? Right? It seems he's Korean. You can change this to whoever you want. I'm going to put him in here. Seems he is Korean. Give it your best shot. How would you say this in Korean? It seems Jungkook is Korean. 한국 사람인가 봐요. Nice. 정국 씨는 한국 사람인가 봐요. Yes. 정국이 한국 사람인가 봐요. Okay, yep, there you go. Nice, you guys got it. So I didn't have to give you an example with the verb 이다, to be, 이에요, 입니다, 예요. But you guys got it. So at least the first three of you did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see you guys are still coming in with the examples. Yeah, so you would say, whoever. 한국 사람 for Korean person. Normally you might say 한국 사람이에요, is a Korean. But now we're just going to be in because it's the 이다. In. 가. I don't have any space over there. It just continues. 인가 봐요. Or if you were to change this, maybe you're not saying he's Korean, but maybe you're saying he's a nice person. Well, you can change 한국 사람 to 친절한 사람, kind, 친절하다 to be kind or nice. So 친절한 사람인가 봐요. I guess that he is a nice person. I guess that he is nice. Good. Let's move on. I have so many sentences prepared. I know I won't be able to get to all of them, but I'm going to try doing all of them. I think that the more sentences you can see, the better you'll understand how this form is used. Not just like literally what it means, but like also then when do they use it and when do they not use it. Okay, let's see this next one. Oh, you seem really hungry. How would I say this? You seem really hungry. Go ahead and start. I'm going to write some of the key words here. Really, you can just use 정말 or 진짜 if you want. Hungry is 배가, well, the ga is optional. 고프다. You can be he or she or whatever, but I'll just say you. So go ahead and give that your best shot. That's not right in any romanization style. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't use romanization. So I don't know the romanization rules for... Actually, I do. I take that back. I do know the romanization rules for McCune-Reischauer and the revised system, especially the revised system. But whatever. Names don't follow any romanization system. I'll say that. There is no romanization system for names. People use whatever they want. Because even the last name Kim would actually have to be Kim for the regular name romanization system. So names don't really count. So I'm going to spell it that way if I want. Kids, don't use romanization. Oh, there you go. Suna wrote, 빌리쌤 전국 이름 should be the object marker, not 이름 E. And then 어떻게 쓰는지 모르나 봐요. That's perfect. The rest of it's perfect. 푼. You wrote, Sarah, you wrote 배고픈, should be 푸. But other than that, yes. Correct. 정말 배고픈가 봐요. 진짜 배고픈, 뿌입. You wrote 판가 봐요, but it's 푸다, so it become 푼, since it's a descriptive verb. 배고픈가 봐요. LPS Destiny didn't use the form, but you can try that again. Amanda wrote 진짜, so the spelling on that is reversed. It's supposed to be 진짜, but the rest of your sentence is fine, Amanda. And Kate June, that's a different form. We're not doing 갔다. That was a previous live stream. 배고픈가 봐요. Nice. Alex Huang wrote, you wrote no, but then yo at the end. That wouldn't match. No is very low and informal and very rude, actually, but yo is quite polite. So you have to either remove no or remove the yo at the end. Yeah, Lee doesn't even exist. It's just E. So yeah, romanization for names, it doesn't have any official rules. Names can be whatever, but yeah, words have official rules depending on the word. 배고픈가 봐요. Nice. 배고픈가 봐. Okay. Matthew Yo, you wrote 배고파가, so it should be 푼 as we explained in the earlier part of the lesson. Don't do drugs, stay in school, don't use romanization. Yeah, that's good. Okay, nice. LPS asked, what particle are we using? If you missed the whole live stream, I would wait till it's over and then go back and watch it so that you're not going to be lost for today. Okay. Yes. All right. So that's all you have to do. You can say 정말. There's other ways you can write this, but 정말. Oops. 배가. Or 배가 정말 고픈가 봐요. Sorry, I know I don't have the nicest writing, especially when I'm trying to write fast. 정말 배가 고픈가 봐요. Or 배가 정말 고픈가 봐요. Since literally 배가 고프다 means stomach, 배 means stomach, 가, subject marker, which is optional. 고프다 means to be like empty and hungry. So your stomach's empty. 배가 고프다. So you're literally, your stomach's empty or you're hungry. So you seem really hungry, or I guess you're really hungry. So, your friend sits down and starts just like eating tons of food, like pizza, hamburgers, everything, just keeps eating. You're like, wow, I guess you're really hungry. 정말 배고픈가 봐요. 와, 진짜 배고픈가 봐. 배가 진짜 고픈가 봐. There's a couple different ways you can say it. Yeah, so that would be how you would use it. The next one is, I'm going to give you the next one because I want to teach something about it. 오늘 날씨가, so today, the weather, 날씨가, 덥다 to be hot, remember, conjugates as 더운가, 더운가, 봐요. 오늘 날씨가, today's weather, 더운가 봐요. Hot. Today's weather seems hot. I guess today's weather is hot. It seems like today's weather is hot. However you want to look at the sentence. So just a reminder that, just again, although I already showed you this, that 덥다 ends with this letter, so you remove it and you add u. Then, now we get 더우, and now we can attach what we need to finish with this form. So in this case, after a vowel, you attach nian and then ka. If this were a consonant, you would attach un, ka. That's how this one works. So, The other thing is I wanted to give you one more example for conjugation. You don't have to just use payo. You could also use, pa for casual. You can also use, I gave you an example previously of 보죠. So this would be 보다 with the 조 ending, like isn't it? Kind of like asking for confirmation. So 오늘 날씨가 더운가 보죠? Today's weather really seems hot, doesn't it? Dang, today's weather is really hot, eh? It's not Canadian, but it's the same kind of feeling. Like, huh? Isn't it? Ain't it? Don't you think so? It's that kind of meaning. So you can add verb endings to 보다. You just won't give it tense and you won't give it honorifics. But other regular verb endings to show emotion are totally fine. So you don't have to only say 파요 or 파. You don't have to feel like, oh, I can only say 파요 or 파. You can also do 보네요, 보죠, any other variety of like that. You can do any other variety that you can think of as long as it logically makes sense. Okay, next one. I guess they're cooking steak next door. This one is a little harder, but I think you guys can do it. Cooking. Now, I'll tell you that you don't need to translate they. You don't need to translate it. Because just like he or she or you, it's not necessary unless you want to say who's doing it. You can if you want. You can add in who is cooking it. But I'm just writing it here. You don't have to translate it. Next door. So go ahead and try to translate this. I'll give you some key words. Oops. For next door, I'll just tell you how you say that. So next, as an adjacent door, is 옆. 옆 is a preposition that means adjacent. 옆 집. So in Korean, what they say literally, while we would say next door, the next door, 다음 문, the next door in a line. In Korean, they don't have that system where Korea doesn't have those types of suburban neighborhoods with houses separated one after another and big yards. That doesn't exist. So the concept of the next door doesn't exist in Korean. Korean people live in either apartments, right? Apartment buildings, or if they're in a busier section of the city or sometimes older areas, they'll live in what's called a 주택, which is basically like a condo. They're like a bunch of condos attached into one building. And it might be 2 or 3 or more. So what they say is they just say the adjacent house because they're not in a line. They're not a bunch of houses down this long street. It will be in here, maybe this is the map of the location and these are all the streets intersecting each other, So there is no next door. Like maybe you live here and your friend lives over here. It's not next door. They're just your neighbor. So that's why they have different words for it. So they would just say 옆집, the next house. I'm just explaining this so you can kind of know why it's different. So the adjacent house, 에서. So at the adjacent house, they are cooking steak. So maybe you're already writing it. I'm going to give you some more words. So steak is just steak. Cooking, they say steak을 굽다. 굽다. 굽 just means bake. Kind of baking bread or cooking something in the oven like that. If you wanted to specify they're doing something different to the steak, you can use a different verb. Like you can say they're frying steak or specifically that they are steaming. Oh, that'd be gross. Steaming steak. Anyway, 굽다 is typically what they use for cooking meat. Smoking these meats. Okay, so I guess that they're cooking steak next door. Let's see what you guys got. 옆에 있는 집에. Okay, I see you tried to get creative before I told you what it is. Literally, 옆에 있는 집 means the house that's next to us. So yeah, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it as saying next door. But yeah, the house that's next to us. Okay. And then you'd want to use 에서 since someone's doing something at. Maybe I could do a live stream about 에 and 에서 in the future. 스테이크를 요리하나 봐요. Okay, you can also use 요리하다. That's like preparing, like they're doing some sort of culinary cooking. That's a general word for cooking anything. So it's not wrong. 옆집에서, and remember 에서, since they're doing something at. 스테이크를 요리하고 있나 봐요. Okay, they're cooking something with steak. So you want to use 옆집에서. Other than that, yes. Let me look down to the 에서. The first 에서. Okay, Noah Deeps. 옆집에서 요리하나 봐요. Nice. It looks like they're cooking next door. Well, you didn't have steak, but yeah, sentence is good. Okay, I see you added it down. 옆집에서 스테이크를 요리하나 봐요. Okay. 스테이크를, let's see who wrote 굽다. 옆집에서 스테이크를 구운가 봐요. Okay. This is kind of a trick. I kind of tricked you. 굽다 is a bit of a tricky one in that it doesn't conjugate like you might think. First of all, it's an action verb. Action verbs that end with this letter typically don't do anything when you do any sort of conjugation or you add, I'm sorry, not conjugation, when you add any verb endings to it. So this is kind of a bit of a, like, I could explain that to you and I tell you like, oh, these verbs typically don't add anything. It might be better just to memorize that 굽다 doesn't conjugate like other verbs. But typically action verbs that end with this letter do not do anything when you attach a verb stem to them. So 굽다 does not become 구운가, or, well, it wouldn't become 구운가 anyway because it's an action verb. It would have to be 나. So it doesn't become 구나 봐요. It just becomes 굽나. Very simply. 굽나. 굽나 봐요. 굽나 봐요. So this was kind of a tricky one, and I expected very few people to get it right. So maybe that's why a lot of people switch to 요리하다. Lou, why am I crying at smoking these meats? Meats like a brisket. 옆집에서 스테이크를 요리하나 봐요. 스테이크를 굽나 봐요. Nice. 스테이크를 굽고 있나 봐요. Yes. And Marilis, you can get around it by just changing it to 굽고 있다. Yes, that's nice. You could do that. 스테이크 Kai Van Buren, you have 릉, 스테이크릉. You want to do 스테이크를, the object marker. 요리 하나 봐요. Okay? 옆집에서 also. 스테이크를 굽나 보죠? Yep. Hey, they're cooking steak next door, right? Like, I smell it. I smell their steak. Noah Deeps. Yes, 굽나 봐요. Okay. Yeah. So if you missed this one with because of 굽다, don't feel bad. I kind of put it in here on purpose to trick you. Not really to trick you, but just to kind of to tell you that the most difficult part about this form is really just conjugating it correctly, not usage of it. So, yep, sorry, I almost messed that up. 옆집에서 스테이크를 굽나 봐요. However, I'll tell you that 굽다, when you're conjugating this to the yo form, it becomes just like you might think, 구, and then yo, 구워요. So it conjugates like a regular be up descriptive verb, even though it's an action verb. And there are a handful of verbs that do conjugate weird, and that has to do with this. Actually, my friend explained it to me the other day, finally. He talked about how in older Korean, there was actually two letters that looked like this. There was this one, and then there was also this one with a dot on top. And this one was kind of like a W sound. So that led to some of them, all of them being written like this, changed to become just written like this, but their pronunciation stayed the same. So what you were left with is some verbs that randomly conjugate like this, like u, that end in p up, and other ones that don't in other times. So it kind of caused a lot of issues with how conjugation works with these. But I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, so just learn that 굽다 is a bit of an oddball, as well as a few other ones. A few other ones also do the same thing. But typically, action verbs still will only use 나. So that's one thing you can remember. So 굽나 봐요. Yeah, old Hangul. Someday I'll do a video about it when I've learned a little bit, when I've learned enough to make a proper video. I would like to do a video about old Hangul, like what types of letters are gone from it, how it's changed, what problems that has caused, how it's gotten better also. Stuff like that, talk to like some misconceptions about Hangul. Like some people think that it's been around since it was created in the 1500s, when in reality, it wasn't really used until I think like with the 1800s. Like people actively avoided using it for a long time. So it's not as old as people might think. It's quite recent. And a lot of the changes that happened to it happened also quite recently. Like the things that make it so easy to learn for us today are more recent changes, that they weren't how the language was originally, how the written language was originally created. So yeah, sometime in the future I'd like to do a video about that, but not today. Okay, let's do one more example, one more sentence. This one's similar, so 옆집에서. This one's just another quick example. 파티를 하나 봐요. Just a quick example. I just want to give you one more with 옆집. So next door, at the next door, at next door. Party, 파티를 하다, to have a party. They say 파티를 하다, literally to do a party. 파티를 하나 봐요. So I guess they are doing a party next door. It seems like they're having a party next door. So you walk outside and there's like music playing, and you're like, 옆집에서 파티를 하나 봐. 왜 초대를 안 했지? Why didn't they invite me? Probably because I walk around going, so that's why they didn't invite me. Okay, let's do another example. So, this one I'm gonna have to do after. Let me put this one a little bit later. I have to do, it's a really good sentence. I gotta do this. Okay. So the next thing is, remember how I said like any tense is added before adding 나보다. Every tense is done, and as well as honorifics. They're all done before the ending part. Well, yes, but one of the reasons that I said in the beginning of the lesson that 나보다 is used like 90% of the time is most of the time things will tend to use 나보다 anyway, even when they're supposed to use 가보다. We'll talk about that in a second, when you can and when you can't. But first of all, I wanted to say anytime you have past tense stem, action verb, descriptive verb, doesn't matter. Use 나보다. Isn't this easy? Anytime you do past tense, you're going to use 나보다. Super easy. In fact, anytime you use future tense too, but we'll talk about that in a second. That's not just 나보다. We'll have to learn something else for that. But anytime you do past tense, like I think that he did something, 했나 보다. But what if this 하다 is part of a descriptive verb? So it's not to do, but what if it's like 착하다, to be kind, like 착해, he's really kind, he's really nice. He was nice. 착했다. Well, you wouldn't say 착했은가, you would just say 착했나. So any verb, once it's in past tense, will only use 나보다. You don't use 가보다, even if it's a descriptive verb. So let's do another one. 덥다, to be hot. Well, the past tense of hot was hot. So normally you'd say 더웠어요, right? 더웠어요. It was hot. Or 추웠어요. It was cold. Or maybe it was far. 멀었어요. Well, whatever the past tense is, whatever the descriptive verb. 보다. 더웠나 봐요. 더웠나 봐요. I guess it was hot. I guess he was nice. I guess it was fun. I guess it was delicious. So, let me give you just a couple examples. If you were to say, like the other example, 그 영화가, I said 재밌나 봐요 before, but what if it was fun? 재밌었나 봐요. Okay, well this is nothing new because I already told you 있다 conjugates like an action verb, so it would already become this anyway. But what if you were to say something like the movie was good, just good. So you don't typically say a movie was good, but just for this example, we're gonna say it was good. So no, you could say 영화가 좋았어요. Yeah, it was good. I like the movie. 좋았어요. It was good. So we're gonna say 좋았나 봐요. So it doesn't use 좋았은가, even though it's a descriptive verb. 좋다 is descriptive. 좋았나 봐요. Hopefully this makes things easier. That you only need to use the 가보다 when it's in present tense and a descriptive verb. And there's one more case where you also don't need to use it, so I'll make things even easier for you soon. But for right now, just keep that in mind. Just know that anytime, oh my gosh, now this is getting dirty too. Anytime you have a past tense verb stem, use 나보다. Good. Let me check the chat for a moment. I haven't checked the chat in a couple minutes. Sarah asked, the 보다 always stays present? Yes. It's not I guess, because it's not really a verb that means I guessed. Literally, it means it seems. It looks like. You wouldn't, it seemed like he had gone. No, it's not used that way in Korean. They simply say something currently appears like, whether it's in the past or the present, or the future, as we're going to learn next. Don't make it dirty? What are you talking about? I didn't make anything dirty. Okay. Matthew, yo, I'm not sure what you mean. 보다 is to see. So it would be an action verb if you wanted to attach some other type of thing onto it at the end. Yeah, I don't know what Ahimong's talking about. I didn't say anything dirty. You just have a dirty mind. Okay. So we've got the next one. So that's past tense. However, what do we do about future tense? What do we do if we want to have a future tense verb? Well, future tense, we're also going to be using 나보다. However, there's something else you have to do to it. 려. You attach 려 to the verb stem to make it future. So you don't use a regular future tense ending. So if you wanted to say normally 하다, to do, well, normally future tense of 하다 will be 할 거예요, right? Or maybe like 하겠습니다 or 하겠다, something like that. 하겠어요, 하겠다. No. It does not use either of these. You use 려. Now this 려 is a future tense ending that we have talked about. I talked about this in the future tense live stream that I did, and it means intending to. So if you want a review of what this means by itself, you can watch that live stream and I go into detail about it. But you don't really need to know that in order to know that this is future tense. Like it appears, it seems like he will have a party. It seems like it will be hot. This is for both action and descriptive verbs. And what this is actually a shortening. Shortening. Of this. 으려고. This is intending. This is an intending future tense that we learned about in a previous live stream. Plus 하다, which is also part of this intending form. 으려고 하다. Like 가려고 하고 있어요. I am intending, or I am trying, as we learned before. I'm trying to go, or I'm trying to study. 지금 공부하려고 하고 있어요. I am intending to study right now. I'm trying to study. Could you get out of my room? I'm trying to study. 지금 공부하려고. I'm trying to study. I'm intending to study. So that's all this is. Literally, it seems that you, or it seems like someone, he or she, is intending to, will, because it's a future tense, it seems like someone will do something. That's all this means. But it gets shortened from 으려고 하다. Nah, it's too long. 으려나. This 고 하다 is too much. So it goes away. So just 으려나 봐요. 으려나 보다, which you can conjugate. So that's all that this form is. And you don't actually even need to know this. You can just know that its future tense uses this. But anyway, that's pretty much all there is to this one. So I'm going to give you a sentence first, and then I'll give you one that I want you guys to make. But first, let me just give you one sentence. 내가 오늘도 숙제, so the homework를 못 하려나 봐요. let's just do 봐, because it's 내가. So 내가 오늘도 today also 숙제 homework 못하다 cannot do. 하려나, so will not be able to do. So I don't think I'll be able to do the homework today. Or more literally, I guess I won't be able to do the homework today either. Or it seems like I'm not going to be able to. 못하다, cannot. So it seems like I can't. I will not be able to do the homework today. Today, mate. Today. I don't know why that came out. I'm no Australian DNA. Whatever that means. Okay. 내가 오늘도 숙제를 못 하려나 봐. So I guess I'm not going to be able to do the homework again today. Kind of like that. So maybe you're doing you didn't do your homework for the past 10 days because you're just streaming Netflix. You're just binging a show on Netflix. But then the show's over. So you're like, oh, now I have time to do my homework. But then they announce like Lucifer season 5 coming out. And you're like, it just released today. 내가 오늘도 숙제를 못 하려나 봐. I guess I'm not going to be able to do my homework again today. It's not my fault. I just can't do it. So this is for future tense. So now let me give you guys an example. I want you to do it. Okay, I'm going to have to replace this. This is the good news though is this thing lasted 3 classes, whereas the other erasers only last like 1. So I think this is a good eraser. So tomorrow will also be hot. It seems like, I want you to make this sentence. Tomorrow will also be hot. Seems like tomorrow will also be hot. I'm not going to give you any words because these are all basic words. Oh, okay, I'm scrolling up. You said the eraser was dirty. It is. That's not a dirty joke. That's just this eraser being really naughty, okay? Let's see. Amariliz, you have a spelling. Yes. Amariliz, you fixed it. I was going to tell you that, but you already fixed it yourself. Okay, let's see what everyone else wrote. 내일도 더우려나 봐요. Nice, Sarah. Perfect. 내가 BTS 콘서트에 못 가나 봐요. I guess I can't go to BTS. But if you're saying 내가, Fluffy, if you're saying 내가, you wouldn't end it with 요 typically. So you would just end it with 파, since 요 would be more polite, but 내가 is not a polite word. 내일도 더 me my me. You wrote 더우. It should be 더우. Sidra, you have a spelling mistake for 더울. It wouldn't be 더울. It's just 더우. The rest is fine. No, not 려가. It's 려나 봐요. 오늘도 날씨가 더우려나 보네. No edits. 보네. Not 파네. I think you asked that before. If it's 파네 or 보네. 덥려나. No. 더우려나. Just like before. Some people might have come in late to the stream. If you came in late, you will get these wrong because we covered a lot of exceptions to the rules. So if you came in late, I would recommend going back to the stream after it's finished today and then re-watching, especially the introduction part, to make sure that you get how to do it. So tomorrow also, so 내일도 덥다, to be hot, will become 더우, right? 려나 봐요. 내일도, tomorrow also, 더우려나 will be hot, it seems. So it seems tomorrow will be hot too. Seems like tomorrow is going to be hot. And if you want, you can add stuff to that. 내일도 내일은 오늘보다 훨씬 더우려나 봐. Like, it seems like tomorrow will be much hotter than today. You can change the sentence up and say whatever you want to say. I just like giving basic examples of how things work, because I think if you understand how it works, you can make your own crazy complicated sentences later. But the basics are the most important. So if you know the basics, how does it work? How can you conjugate it? What are some exceptions to it? You can use that to make any complicated long sentence, or at least understand any complicated sentence that you want. Okay, let's do another one. So I guess Charsu will not come. I guess Charsu won't come. Let's won't come today. Okay. I guess Charsu won't come today. You can optionally not put today. If you're not confident about the today part, you don't know where it goes, just at least do this part. I guess Charsu won't come. I won't take off points if you don't put today. So let's see how you guys can do. Charsu 씨가 교도소? Sarah, 끝나다 is also action verb. So I would use 나. 철수가 안 오려나 봐요. Yep. I guess Charsu is not coming, will not come today. So if you were to just say, I mean, you wrote it correctly, but if you had just said 안 오나 봐요, that means I guess Charsu is not coming, which could be future, right? You know, if he's not coming, he won't come either. But this is a assumption of what's going to happen. So I guess Charsu will not come today. Or literally, it seems Charsu is not intending to come today. Charsu. Sidra, it's Charsu, not Chursu. But the rest of your sentence is perfect. 철수 씨가 안 오려나 봐요. Perfect, Sarah. 오늘 철수 안 왔나 봐요. 철수 didn't come. Different sentence, Fluff. But it's correct. But different sentence. Matthew, you wrote none as a typo. But yes, other than that, your sentence is fine. Okay, yeah, great. Good job, everyone. Let me give you an answer here, because I know you guys like to see an answer. So let's just say 철수는 오늘 안 오려나 봐요. 철수는 오늘, today, or just 철수는 안 오려나 봐요. So I guess 철수 does not intend to come, it seems. So it seems like 철수 does not intend to come. Or I guess 철수 won't come today. So that's all there is to it. That's all you need to know. The base lesson for today is now finished, but we're not done. So I have some notes. I have some more intermediate level notes that I want to share with you guys. So if this is your very first time to the forum, give yourself an applause, give yourself a pat on the back. You're good for today. But I always have some advanced notes at the end of the lessons for people who are want something new, want something like they want more on top of what they learned. They're like, yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, give me some more, Billy. Give me a little bit more. And here you go. So remember how I said that 나보다 is used whenever it's past tense. So you have to use 나보다 anytime it's not present tense. 가보다 is only used for that one case of descriptive verbs in the present tense. 나보다 is also used with 있다, to exist, right? Also, 나보다 is used when it's future tense. So you use 으려나 보다, not 으려가 보다, ever. 나보다 can also be used with descriptive verbs in the present tense. Sometimes. When? So normally descriptive verbs in the present tense are just used with this this 가 보다 ending that we learned before. But you can also use 나보다 in this exact same case when, and only when, the descriptive verb stem ends in a consonant. Now, this is a lot of the time. This is like most of the time. So really what you end up with is 나보다 being used like all of the time and 가보다 only coming up when it's a descriptive verb, present tense, that ends in a vowel. That's when you have to use 가보다. You cannot say like 피곤 하나보다. You would have to say 피곤한가 보다. But you can also use 나보다 in the place of 가보다 whenever it ends in a consonant. So I'll show you. An example of that would be 덥다. So normally you would have to go through and say, okay, 덥다. So it ends in a piup, remove the piup, right? And then okay, now it ends in add an ian, and ka, 보다. Okay, there you're done. Yeah, we're done. Yay, that's not too hard. Well, it's too hard. It's too long. Too many steps, don't you say? Don't you think so? I say we invent a new ending in Korean, and it's like, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to do this. You know, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do this. You're totally fine. It's okay. 덥나봐, 덥나보다. So the pronunciation, though, will change due to sound change rules. So this is spelled like 덥나, but the pronunciation will become 덥나 due to sound change rules. Okay, you still have to know sound change rules. So it doesn't make things super easy if you're like still a really beginner. But all you need to do is whenever it ends in a consonant, you just attach 나보다. You don't have to do any other conjugation rules. Except, with the exception of this letter still. The reason is this letter and this letter do not like each other. So you'll still remove this letter. You're not going to say, like if something's really far, 멀다. You wouldn't say 몰나 봐요. That would sound really weird. These two letters hate each other. You have to get rid of the lir first before you go on. So you do 뭐나. So you could say two ways for these. You could say 덥가 or you could say 덥나. Either one is totally fine. Another example would be 맵다, to be spicy. You could say 매운가 봐요, or you can just say, just like before, in 맵나 봐요. And it works for other words. It doesn't have to be really short. Let's do 날카롭다, which is to be sharp, like a knife or something like that. 날카롭다, it's really sharp. You can also say 날카롭나 보다, just like before, because it ends in a consonant here. You could also do it. Oh yeah, but like I said, it's only when it ends in a consonant, and not this one. Now, a lot of descriptive verbs will end with this letter. You'll see. It's really common for descriptive verbs, but it doesn't have to. However, if you have something like 크다, to be big, well, 크다, you remove it. Okay. It ends in a vowel. You cannot say 크나, 크나봐. That sounds really weird. You have to do regular. 큰가 보다, 큰가 봐. 되게 큰가 봐. I guess it's really big. But 작다, to be small, okay? 작다 does end in a consonant. So you could say 작은가 보다, or you can just say 장나. So notice it still has conjugation rule. You'll still change the conjugation. This will become an 이응. So 장나 보다. But that's all you have to do. 장나 보다. 장나 봐. I guess it's small. So while you couldn't do it with big because it ends in a vowel, you can do it with small because it ends in a consonant. So this is just a little pro tip. However, you cannot switch and do the same thing with 가보다. So really, 가보다 is just like a loser. Like you can't use 가보다 with action verbs, even though you can sometimes use, a lot of times, use 나보다 with descriptive verbs. So don't try to use 가보다 with action verbs. It's not going to work. So yeah, that is the end of today's major lesson. And we actually still finished on time despite the errors with the stream. So I'm going to open up the chat. Feel free. What I want you guys to do is, if you have extra time, go ahead and try to make a practice. Go ahead and try to make an example sentence with what we've learned today. I'll read a few of them and see if I can give you guys a little bit of help with some of them. But today's main lesson, 가보다, 나보다, and 려나보다, is finished right here. So we are actually done with the lesson. From here on, it'll just be some Q&A, as well as you can practice your own sentences. So before I do that, though, I just wanted to remind you that these outlines, again, are all posted on Patreon. So as well as the worksheets the worksheet for today's lesson, you can also find that on Patreon. There's 12 questions. It also has the answers, so you can check yourself. And it's only related to stuff we've learned today. So it shouldn't be too hard, but it's just some extra practice you can play around with. And make sure to join the Discord chat for updates if you want to find out what we're doing for next week or anything that's going on. I always post updates on Patreon or on Discord before I give you guys updates through here. So yes, thank you for coming, everyone. And I'll just check the chat for a bit, maybe another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll finish. Laughing pixels came at the end. Yeah, it's okay. The stream will be saved and posted on my channel as soon as it's done. So I hope that the whole glorious stream will be up, including the weird problems with buffering and everything. I hope all of it's up on the channel. That would be wonderful. I hope that it combines it all together. Fluffy sugar cookies. That would be incorrect to say 못생긴가 because 못생기다 has to be used as in the past tense. 못생겼다. So it would have to be 못생겼나 because it's past. 못생겼나 보다. So 못생겼나 봐. Tiffany, you wrote 영어를 잘하네. 미국인인가 봐. 인가 봐요. Not 미국인가 봐요. That means if you just say 미국인가 봐요, that means I think it is America. Since 미국 is American, 미국인 is American. Yeah, overall, I think it was a successful stream. We had 15 minutes in the beginning, or at least 10 minutes, where it just was not streaming. I'm going to guess either my network or YouTube, but it worked fine normally, so I don't know why we had issues with it this time. But hopefully it's okay. Hopefully you can still read everything really clearly. What is the difference between 철수는 오늘 안 오려나 봐요. 철수가 오려나 봐요. Oh, you're just wondering about switching out 오늘, nors. Literally, the sentences are the same. Literally, you have a different meaning of the emphasis. So when you have 철수는, you're talking about 철수. So like, hey, let's talk about 철수. Well, I don't think he's coming today. But I do know that he said he's busy. So, maybe I'll call him later. 철수. Let's talk about 철수. Whereas 오늘은, it's like, hey, today. So let's talk about today. Well, for one thing, I don't think 철수 is going to come. But maybe Billy will come. Maybe we can still have a fun party. That's the difference. But as far as like that one sentence out of context, you can use either one because there's no context for it. We don't know whether you're going to be talking about. We don't know whether you want to talk about 철수 with this as that sentence or whether you're just talking about today. So are you talking about today? Like, oh, I don't think 철수's coming. And then you want to say, Billy's going to come, Mark's going to come. But if you want to focus on 철수, like, hey, let's talk about 철수. I don't think he's coming today. Do you even know what he's doing? Like 철수, he's such a weirdo. Like that. Depends just what do you want to talk about. And I did a live stream about the topic marker that you can check out. I go into detail about how that works. But yeah. 어려운가 봐. 어려운가 보죠. Noah Deeps. Noah Deeps, please rewatch my verb ending stream because I talk about how to conjugate it. Because you've had a few sentences in here that have been using the wrong conjugation for the endings, 네 and 조. So I'd recommend rewatching that to get a refresher on that. 너무 배고파서 이따가 밥을 사려나 봐요. Okay, cool. So hungry. Later he's going to go buy, or I will, or you will, later is going to go buy some pop. buy a meal. Rip Charsu, he gets so much hate. Yeah, I really hope Charsu never becomes a real person. If your name is Charsu and you're watching, I'm sorry. It's not you. It's a different Charsu. You'd get hate too if you ate babies. Yeah, that's right. Charsu. Why am I apologizing? Charsu's a terrible person. If you read my books, I use 철수 as an example for like some of the random sentences use 철수, not the conversation characters, but the random examples will sometimes use 철수, and it'll be things like 철수 walked all the way to Seoul from Busan, or like 철수 doesn't have friends, or 철수 didn't come, or things like that. So if you put them all together, it makes 철수 kind of look like a jerk, or at least a weirdo. Okay. 일요일이다. 오늘은 일찍 잠을 못 자려나 봐. 자려나 봐. Okay, well the tense, the formalities of your sentence don't match because you have 일요일이다, which is just plain form, and then the end you have 봐요, which is the polite 요 form. Grammatically, you're fine, but formality-wise would be incorrect. You have to match formalities for whatever you're talking about. So you can say 일요일이에요, like that. Laughing Pixels. Hey, Billy, you got any Koreans watching? Yeah, I do. There are some Koreans watching. I don't think they chat very much, but I saw one here earlier, and I know I at least have a couple that watch the stream on a regular basis. 손에다 완벽한가 봐요. I guess they're perfect. They seem perfect? Okay. Sure. Yeah? Okay. 너무 어려서 시험 성공. Tiffany, 성공하다 is to be successful. But you wouldn't say, I will be successful a test. You would say a test is successful or something. It's not an action verb for that. So that's not how it would be used. 아프니까 목을 약을 사려나 봐요. Okay. My younger brother younger sibling is sick. So I think he or she or I or whatever, will buy medicine to take. To eat, literally. But yeah, to take medicine. 먹을 약을 사려나 봐요. 완벽하죠. It's perfect. I'm Korean. Are you sure? I'm half Korean, half Native American, but I'm just told I'm special. Yeah, you can be whatever you want to be. So 한국인이에요. Okay, cool. Welcome, Laughing Pixels. Yes, I sometimes have Koreans who come here every stream, like at least a couple. Sometimes they come in the chat and argue with people. Sometimes they'll come and give sentences to people. Sometimes they'll talk with me. We get lots of Koreans in here. It's great. They're more than welcome. 합격하다 for passing something. Or 통과하다. 합격 would more be like finish. Okay, 통과. For Tiffany was asking about tests. The 통과 literally means to pass through. Let me just double check. Double check on that before I write it down. Me being able to speak something doesn't necessarily mean that's the way that I spell it. Yeah, it is. Okay. I always like checking before I teach anything. I always like checking my spelling, because most of the words I learned in Korean, I learned just through studying, like you guys. But some Korean words I've learned just from exposure, and I never had to go back and study it. So I like always checking stuff. So you might think like, oh, someone like Billy teaches Korean, so Billy doesn't use a dictionary. Billy knows everything. And no, I use a dictionary too. I want to teach accurate stuff. I'm in the dictionary all day. I have the dictionary open like all the time, because I want to make sure I'm teaching things correctly. And when you're thinking about something, if you're teaching someone English and you're like, okay, now the correct word to use here is there, THEIR. But then you're like, wait, is it? I'm pretty sure it is. Let me check. If you're teaching something, you want to make sure you do it right. So I check a lot of stuff to make sure I'm teaching you guys correctly. If I were to think, oh yeah, this is how you say it, well then I wouldn't be any better at teaching than a regular native Korean. So yeah. Teaching and knowing something, like being able to speak Korean is not the same as being able to teach Korean. I'll say that. 한국 사람 있나 봐요. Yes, I guess there is a Korean person here. Perfect, yes. 한국어 너무 어려워서 시험 통과하려고. Okay. Billy got some nice Korean handwriting. It's funny you say that. My Korean handwriting is awful. Koreans say that I have nice writing, but that's only because I use the stroke order. Like if you're writing something, oh sorry, that was really bad. If you're writing something and there's stroke order, and if you follow the stroke order, it's easy to read, but it looks awful. I could write it like this. I could write like this. And then this would be like, if I like, I'm writing it all wrong on purpose. So like that. Like the stroke order is what makes my writing look nice. My writing though normally is very ugly. But if you follow the stroke order, your writing might not look really pretty, but Koreans will think you have nice writing because they're used to seeing things flow in that stroke order. So like notice when you do like this, the stroke order is like that. But if you do it quick, it kind of comes like this, like that. And a lot of Koreans write su like that. You know, because the stroke order is like that, so if you do it fast, you kind of get that. Miyam, this letter also, if you're doing like, this is the stroke order, 1, 2, 3. Well, if you do it really fast, you get what looks like an R. Like that. So that's really common. Koreans do that too. And so Koreans see that and they're like, oh, it's very nice writing. But like, if you look at the whole thing, it looks like trash. But at least it's nice stroke order and it's easily legible. So that's what's important. Stroke order is important because you can write really fast and still be legible to Koreans. But if you don't use the stroke order and you write really fast, it can be like, it looks really weird and hard to read. And every letter has like some fast way of writing it like that. And you can only get good at that by doing the stroke order really fast. Yeah. Now I'll be the first to say that my writing looks like trash. But it's not like a diss. It's not a diss on my Korean. My English writing has been like that too. I always prioritize fast, my speed over the clarity of writing. So as long as I can read it. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, if you follow the stroke order, so that's I did an episode about this, but if you follow stroke order, so this is the letter. So 1, 2, 3. This is how it's written. 1, 2, 3. Well, if you see this looks like garbage, or even like this, you'll know what it is. Sometimes Koreans write like this, but typically you get like something like this. Even like this. So if you know the stroke order, you can kind of see there's 3 lines and you'll get that, oh, it's this. They're trying to write this, like, right? And if you're writing really quick, you know, you can write a lot faster just by following stroke order than if you were to try to do it like without following the stroke order, which takes longer to write it like that. So anyway, yeah, stroke order is great. It helps you, makes your Korean look more natural, easier to read, and you'll get better at reading Korean if you know stroke order too, because you can understand things that look like really weird. Like if you were to see like this, you can know, oh, that's this, because you see the stroke order like that, which, yeah, like that going over. So if you do things really fast and you get this like weird thing that looks like that, it's because someone was like barfing while they were writing. Well, you could read it easily because you know the stroke order. But if you're only learning characters by the way that they look, you'll have a serious problem reading anyone's handwriting, unless they write like a computer, because everyone writes like that, like really fast like that with cursive. Okay. Any other practice sentences with what we've learned, or any other questions regarding what we've learned? If not, I can stop the stream, but I'm open for a couple more questions before we finish. 한국 공부하는 사람들이 진짜 똑똑한 Sergio, 똑똑한 것 같아. Since 똑똑하다 is a descriptive verb, so it becomes 똑똑한 as an adjective. I also did a live stream about 같다. You can check out for my live stream where I talk about how to say to think. There's actually 2 live streams because it broke. I had a power outage, so it's in 2 parts. But the second part talks about 같다 and how to conjugate it. My Harmony's handwriting is just scribble, scrabble. She can't even read it. Yeah, and I've seen some handwriting of older people in Korea, like people in their 70s and 80s. And if you are not like really good at stroke order, so if you don't have all the stroke order memorized, it is impossible to read. It is so stroke order dependent. And that's just because the way that they write, and they, like older people will write really like cursive and depending on the stroke order, it's really hard to read. I found that older people do really like to write in this like cursive style, whereas younger people don't use it so much. They'll write more cleanly to read, but older people prefer, a lot of times when they write things down, they prefer to do like cursive, even like in their own notes. So you'll see this like cursive where everything's like flowing together, like without lifting their pen, and you have to know stroke order to read it. It's really hard to read. Kate June, 안 왔나 봐요. Yes, perfect. 잘 이해했나 봐요. I guess he understood the lesson very well. Okay? You might want to say lesson, lesson, not lesson, lesson, and then the object marker, not the topic marker. Although topic marker isn't wrong there, you probably would want to just use the object marker without any other context. 손글씨 쓰레기가 I'm not sure what you're trying to write. 쓰레기인가? 쓰레기인가? Like I guess it looks like, it seems like it would be. Okay. I was literally watching that to think video before watching this. Nice, nice. Yeah, Escher Ford said in Billy's Hangul series, he says the stroke order. Yes, and that's one of my regrets about that video is I should have emphasized the two alternate ways of writing it more in the video instead of just writing them at the bottom. Like, you know, every letter introduces it also shows the alternate way of writing. I should have had it more emphasized to say, use these, like learn it like this, learn the stroke order from this one, but use these other two alternate ways when you actually write it. So yeah, people are complaining about the font that I picked for that lesson. I'm like, yeah, I should have made the other ones more emphasized. So like, you know, learn the stroke order like this, but write it like this. So whatever. All right, so 매운가 봐요. 김씨는 매운가 봐요. Nice. 친구 진주. 빌리 형 글씨 똥이야. Nice, nice. Billy, your writing is just poop. Nice. Yeah, Korean people use the word poop a lot. You know, in English we might use a swear word in that case, but yeah, it's pretty common word. 잘 이해했나 봐요. Nice, Sarah. 너무 바빠서 내일은 우리 친구들이 안 만나려나 봐요. Okay, you might want to change it instead of 안 만나다, like I will not meet. You might want to change it to 못, like cannot. 못 만나려나 봐요. 못 is fine too. We also swear. Yeah, you Koreans would swear a lot too. 진짜 쉬운가 봐요. Okay, I guess today's lesson is really easy. Okay, I hope so. But you could use an, but like that's more like you're choosing to not meet them because you're too busy doing other things. So in context, I guess it could be okay, but you'd probably want to use both instead, since you're saying you cannot meet because you're too busy. All right, so that's it for the lesson. Thank you everyone for coming, and remember to check out the community tab on my YouTube, or you'll see it, you know, the voting I do every week. That'll all announce when I'm doing the live streams, as well as what the topics will be. So also check out the Discord channel if you want any updates for the live streams, and I will see you guys again next time. So let me just, before I leave, let me say thanks again to our 2 donators today, Sarah, as well as Shells. Thank you for your donations, and I'll see you guys next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. Let me just move this out of the way so you guys can all see this lovely scenery here.